Hello and welcome to Rate That, the podcast where four mates are attempting to expand their horizons by trying out each other's recommendations. Each episode, one of us suggests a task to the rest of the group to try something they truly enjoy. We then get together to discuss our potentially friendship-ending opinions on something that is often very meaningful to a member of the group. Last time, Josh set us the task to watch a couple of his favourite episodes of the TV series Ghost Adventures. At the time of recording this podcast, there were 225 episodes across 28 series, which can be found on the Discovery Channel. So Josh, can you tell us a little bit about what happens in an episode of Ghost Adventures?
It's a paranormal investigation show where it started off with three guys in the early seasons that did a documentary about the paranormal and went searching for it, etc. It sort of took off, and so they created a TV series of it. And then as it's progressed, one person has left, and then more people have come into the fold. So it's now four people that do it, and they go around various locations around the world, really, hunting ghosts, and that's basically the premise of it. So I got you guys to watch three particular episodes that just off the top of my head, which since I've watched some good ones that I probably should have also asked you to watch anyway. But they were
they're all stellar, let's be real.
No,
all episodes are stellar.
So there was Zozo Demon, Island of the Dolls, and Fear in Flagstaff. Yeah. So those were the three. We won't talk about me just yet and how I feel about them. Well, I suppose we'll just open it to the floor.
You know what? I reckon Tom should go first because, full disclosure, me and Ben have both watched Ghost Adventures before.
True, you have seen it before.
So we have our opinions on it. Tom's a newbie, so I think Tom should go.
No, I think I should go last.
All right, you know what?
I could go first.
You know what? I got a kick in last week because of my idea of chimp adventure. Chimp
Adventures. I'm down for that.
We all watched the wrong thing. We watched Chimp Empire.
I'll go first. Right, I love Ghost Adventures. I love all of it. I think it's hilarious.
I'd just like to pick up on the fact that Kai said it's hilarious, whereas I feel like Josh watches it because, well, for very different reasons.
It's sort of funny sometimes, isn't it? The way they scream and shit.
Well, the thing is, it's exaggerated though, isn't it? All of it's really exaggerated. So Zach Bagans is not exactly like he over the series and from the start to where he is now. It's become like a drama, and it's become a meme. Basically, the whole thing is a meme.
Zach has become a massive meme.
Like, what was it? One of the lines I've written it down here. Who wrote? Is something in this house taunting us like a spider with a fly in his web? What connection does that have? Like, what does that mean?
Just a metaphor for the situation that they're in.
No, but even the metaphor doesn't work. Those two sentences don't work together.
Was that by any chance a scripted line of voiceover as well?
Yeah.
So he's had time to think about that.
Look, I didn't get used to watch this because he's smart. Like, that's right. I got you to watch it because it's fucking sick. So,
well, yeah. Should we go through the reasons why you wanted us to watch it?
It's a bit of trash TV, right? It's an easy watch, and that's why I watch it. The whole paranormal ghosts thing is one that it's weird. I would like to believe in it. I think it's kind of fascinating and terrifying that could be a thing. It's obviously for the purposes of television. Look, right, things have happened to me in my life that I can't explain. There's no explanation for it. I tried. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happily will sit there and go, obviously that's just that. That's why that's happened. But there are other things that have happened, and I'm like, I literally can't. I want to explain it, but I can't. So it doesn't make any sense other than there's something else here in this. You know what I mean? And I've been in places, not all the time, but I have been in houses where I've felt I wasn't alone. and I was alone. For me, it's something that I'm not like definitely saying all this shit exists and oh yeah, it's 100% definite like ghosts and that, because they obviously, well, I mean, they use a lot of scientific stuff, so it's
Well, they use
I
that word
can't
loosely.
dispute it. I can't dispute it. I mean, you ain't a fucking scientist, Ben, so shut your fucking mouth for a start. You don't know how this shit works, are you? But it's true though, ain't it? You're a scientist. So fucking shut up.
Whoa.
but it is dramatized and it is pushed to the limit and all that kind of stuff. But the reason I watch it is because there is an element of it that one I would like to exist. I think because again, it's like UFOs and shit, isn't it? There's people out there that say UFOs exist and nobody knows. You just don't know, do you? And I think that's the intrigue of it. So that's why I like it.
The thing is about UFOs, though, that you could argue there's more of an argument for UFOs existing than there is ghosts.
But there's less proof of UFOs than there is ghosts. The thing is, if people tell you that they've seen a ghost, right? They know what they saw. My mum says she's seen a ghost. Does that make so you calling my mum a liar?
That you see,
but this is the thing. No, but this is the thing. No, but there's people out there. There's people out there that say they've seen it, and there's people out there that say they've seen UFOs.
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's people out there that say they've seen these things. So, but with UFOs, it's like that you're going on someone's word again. It's like I think there's just as much proof out there, or as ghosts and paranormal. I think UFOs fall under the paranormal, I think.
I hadn't seen a Ghost Adventures episode on aliens.
I didn't fucking get you to watch one. There is though. If you want one, I can give you one.
There is one because I remember they went to go see the little grey man. Little grey man in the field.
Do you believe? And this is just a general question. This isn't me. I'm not setting you up for anything. Do you believe in UFOs?
Personally, no.
Well, I believe that the universe is infinite, and the fact that we can't be the only planet that has intelligent life form on it, and that other intelligent life form would want to contact other intelligent life form. So I would say UFOs probably do exist in some way, shape, or form, but maybe not in the flying saucers that have featured in
That's
grainy
the answer I
footage.
should have given. Well said, Tom. That's the answer I should have given.
Yeah.
But having said
that, it was a leading question. Ghosts exist, so fuck you.
But having said that, if I was to go somewhere and then something was to happen to me, then maybe I would become a convert.
The first episode you got us to watch was about Zozo. So
yeah.
Zozo's essentially a demon, right?
Yeah, it's a Zozo. Yeah, they're apparently a demon. This guy in this house has been possessed from doing a seance or a Ouija board. I mean, this one of my first notes after watching Zozo is, which will probably please Ben. Zozo is probably the extreme of Ghost Adventures, and just the whole paranormal tales. Let's face it, like when you hear people say things like, "I saw this and I don't understand it, and it was a misty figure and all this shit," you think, oh, "Okay, maybe you did see it. Maybe your eyes were playing tricks." When someone can say, "My daughter was lifted up and taken to the basement from the bottom of the stairs," like that's a bit fucking mental. Even me, I'm like, really? Like, I don't know whether that is possible.
Have any of you done a Ouija board before?
No, I've not done anything like that.
Have you not?
No. Have you?
Yeah, and I was definitely pushing it.
You were pushing it, did you say?
Quite early on in my notes, I've written, I think I was preempting and getting myself worked up about the fact that you were all going to hate it and think it's complete bullshit. So I was like, I'm definitely going to propose that for the sake of the podcast, at some point, we're going to go and book and stay somewhere that's meant to be haunted. And
100% love to
see how we all get on.
Well, for starters, all American houses are made of wood. So they're going to make noises with a change of temperature. And when you walk around the outside of it and they're constantly banging on the windows and they're all freaking out. I mean, come on. Like, the Zozo house one was the one I had the biggest problem with, to be honest, because it felt like a gullible couple got themselves really worked up and then brought in some investigators.
I feel like the dude seemed like kind of seemed level-headed. It was her. It just seemed like she'd fucking taken a hit on a crack pipe at some point.
Well, she did go outside for a bit.
Well, this is what I mean. The dude was the one that seemed the more level-headed, but he was the one that was
And he's the one that's messing about with Ouija boards and then is surprised when something happens.
How fuming would you be if you're the one messing about? You don't even get involved in any of this stuff. Your partner to get like messing about with demons and that, and you get possessed.
I mean,
here's the thing. Here's my problem with the Zozo one. They either had a camera outside or set one up after and took some shots and cut them in to make it look like they had an exterior camera. And yet her going outside and being possessed was not caught on camera. And then she randomly reappears in the room with her belt undone.
That could just be edited, man.
No, she goes up the stairs. You see her go up the stairs with the camera.
Oh, she goes up the stairs. Yeah, fantastic.
So you know she's gone back in the house.
But whilst everything that is dark and demonic has been happening to her, it's not caught on the camera they happen to have outside and used several times.
Well, you don't know where she was stood.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Look, those things are easily explained, but come on.
I agree with Ben, though. It is convenient that all the scary, spooky stuff
It's so convenient, isn't it?
In a house that's rigged with cameras, and they don't happen to catch it.
But they do.
That's the one thing that actually happened.
Yeah, there are a lot of times that they don't catch football. There is like.
This was going to be one of my questions as well. I was just inquisitive as to whether he would admit that they go on investigations when
probably he wouldn't now because it's his brand, isn't it? Like that's how he's made his money. I mean, obviously I've watched a lot of Ghost Adventures and I have watched them all the way through, and now I obviously went back with yous to watch the early ones. I've written here that going back to an old episode, it's funny because when you watch the newer ones, you get to a stage where as it goes on, Zach's ego gets bigger because he gets bigger. But also, there was a point where I was like, I'd forgotten about earlier series, whereas these new ones, you think, oh, God, one person says something like, oh, I don't feel too good. And then 20 seconds later, Zach don't feel good either. As always, he has to see, seems like he has to outdo everyone. Like
that's something that I was going to say.
Somebody else can't be possessed. If they're possessed, I'm really possessed. Like
it's like in the Zozo one where he's like sat in the was it the Zozo one where he has to sit downstairs and be like, oh,
yeah,
like,
but actually, yeah.
It's like his wife. The wife has gone on. You know, she's getting possessed and stuff like that, but he needs to be repossessed. Like,
but that's what it's his. I think that's what it's his brand, isn't it? Because I always wonder, like, if you sat him down and gone, you know, out of all of these fucking things that you do, how much evidence you actually get. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because obviously they're seeking it out and they're going to haunted places, but the skeptic in me, obviously, it's very convenient that they always manage to document something on at least one or two of the like. There's always something happens, like.
But the fact they say that things happen, but I feel like a lot of it is confirmation bias, and like they are expecting something to happen. They are going there. They see, like Tom says, old houses in America are made of wood. They're going to make noise. They hear a noise. They try and debunk it, and they can't.
But there are also, I mean, again, it's TV, so it's all bollocks. It could just be the actors, and they add it in after. That's quite possible. That's the whole point of it, isn't it? But like, if it isn't, and they are capturing these things, yeah, some noises can be explained away. But you're telling me like doors closing, which they've seen, things slamming, you know, while they're in there and echoing within the environment that they're in, footsteps that you can hear walking next to, you know what I mean? Like things that are clear, that are actual noises that you, obviously the odd creak here and there. I might say that could literally be anything. Like you say, houses settle. I hear creaks in this house daily. It doesn't mean that it's haunted, but like if there was,
does it?
Well, I don't know. It could do. If I heard a couple of footsteps going up the steps, but there's nobody here, and then I'd be, do you know what I mean? I'd be curious. So, you know, I won't be curious. I'd be fucking moving out.
Bye. I have a question for you guys, right? A couple of questions. So I've watched 3 episodes, well, 4 episodes now.
You went one extra.
I did went one extra because I'm that guy. Do they ever do anything not at night?
I think they do. Sometimes they get evidence during the day.
Yeah, they'll do shit during. So that when they go in and interview them, there was an episode I watched the other day where during the interview in the day, they do like EVP stuff, and they'll do while they're talking to somebody. If something's happening or there's activity while they're doing an interview, they'll stop the interview and start documenting stuff. Or like there was one the other day where they were talking to some bloke that had died, and the lights were flickering on and off, and they was talking to us. And that was all in the day. So they do stuff in the day while they're, but it's not necessarily, they won't go, we're going to go in this hotel now during the bright daylight. We'll prefer to do it in the dark.
Why is it that the spirit world only comes alive at night?
That was question number 2 I had.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
Well, I can't. I'm gonna have to get Zach to ask him.
I'm not fucking dead, so I can't really answer that one for you. You'd have to email him.
I like it because I like just generally Ghost Adventures because it's entertainment. Whether you believe in it or not, I don't know. I just find it funny. But what I love the links and the leaps sometimes they take to make something connect cracks me up. Like it was in the Fear of Flagstaff, where Zach, I'm pretty sure he says it in VO. He talks about how he was like, did this house end up killing this dog? It's like, well, no, clearly the house.
This is what I mean by the confirmation bias thing. Like,
it's just
they want it to be this, so they just make these massive leaps because they think something's going to happen.
I've written down here all the people that, and again, fuck knows, they could well be fucking paid actors. I don't know, but they say that they're the owners of the building and they are attached to the building in some way. They all say that they've experienced something. These people, obviously the dog just died. It just had a heart attack. It was probably old or whatever. But they believe it's associated with the hotel. They say they've seen things. They say they've heard things. They live there. It's their experience. Are you saying that they're barman?
They also said it was stress that killed the dog, whereas it was Zach that then went, it was the building.
No, but stress because of spirits. That's what they said.
But my dog's stressed all the time.
No, no, so, no, and you wouldn't blame it on your house. I get that, but like what I'm saying,
it's the leaps that you take.
All right, yeah, some of the leaps, but I'm asking you, what I'm asking as a general, not necessarily the leaps that they're taking. As someone who is a skeptic, do you think that they're talking bollocks? Are you saying that all these people are incorrect?
I think in certain things, yes. I think there's things that you can't explain. Like when you hear things like when you see door, I think it was in, I forgot which one it was in, but where
Flagstaff, the broom fell over.
Things like that, yeah. Granted, the way it falls over, you kind of go, that's a bit. But there's arguments you can have there where when something's is it poltergeist when you say it's like poltergeist? Yeah, there you can make arguments of like, because I'm pretty sure in one of the other episodes, this is not one of the ones that we had to watch, but there was a fan on a table that just launched off. I forgot what episode that is yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like those type of things, you can sit there and you can make an argument. You can kind of go, oh, how did that happen? That's weird, isn't it? But when you make a leap about my dog died because of spirits.
But again, you don't. It's like it's the same. This is the issue, isn't it? And I'm not saying I believe what they're saying, but I also have a sympathetic view to what they're saying, in the sense of when it comes to things like UFOs and all that kind of shit. No one can know. We can't know. Do you know what I mean? They couldn't do a post-mortem on that dog and go, unfortunately, that he was killed by spirits.
What really cracked me up in the Fear of Flagstaff, well, there's a lot of things, yeah. It was a bit where they were going upstairs. I think it was the daughter was taking them upstairs. So they had this big interview at the bottom of the stairs,
God, yeah, I remember.
They were chatting and they were like, right, let's go. They took 3 steps and he had a
Yeah.
2-minute monologue. Yeah.
Can we just stop here a second? Yeah.
A 2-minute monologue.
He does. I mean, let's face it. He loves the sound of his own voice.
One of the notes I had written down was, do these guys think they are Ghostbusters? Like Bill Murray Ghostbusters. And then in A Fear of Flagstaff, 3 people on the street suddenly appear in Ghostbusters costume.
Yeah.
But I fully believe that everyone in the show believes what they're saying, 100% believes in what they're doing, and 100% believes in the paranormal. I happen to not.
I don't think I think Zach knows he's chatting bollocks with certain things.
A lot
Like,
of the time he does, yeah, but I do think he
there's that
does
moment
believe in it.
he 100% believes in it. But there's that moment in Fear of Flagstaff where it's all drama. He walks past the camera like, I want to kill Jay. And it's just like, what are you talking about?
He gets possessed in that.
Island of the Dolls, I would say for Tom and Ben, given you probably think it's the most bullshit. Would you go on it? Would you go on Island of the Dolls? Would you do what they do?
Would I do it? Yeah.
You would do it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I reckon you
Yeah.
shit yourself.
I'd shit myself.
I'd hate it, but I'd go on there. I'd hate it just because I don't like dolls' eyes staring at me because I find it a bit weird. I don't think there's any sort of ghosts or anything haunting the dolls themselves.
How'd the fire start?
What I love the fact is that
It's a TV show.
Gas.
a small campfire called a blazing inferno.
How did it start?
Yeah.
How did it start?
I mean, it's clearly a gas canister rigged up to.
This is a lot of. This is my fundamental issue. I mean, I love the show. I will watch it till the cows come home because I think, but I watch it for different reasons to Josh. I think I watch it, as Kai said, because I find it entertaining and I think it's funny. And don't get me wrong, I'm not laughing at the people on the show. Like, they fully believe what they're doing and what they're saying. They fully believe in it. I just find it funny myself. But my fundamental issue is they are calling this evidence and proof when essentially it's a TV show. We all work in TV. We're all editors. We know what can be done behind the camera to make some of these things happen. And, you know, there's been 26 series of this thing and I've Googled it, nobody has come out and, you know, exposed this show as being fake. But we all know that these things can be set up.
But given the benefit of the doubt, yeah, let's just say it wasn't set up, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then some of the stuff is weird.
You can't,
for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. So I think, you know, sometimes you do have to just take the leap with some of this stuff. But what I will say, like I said earlier, I watch it for entertainment. Like, I love the fact that like, for example, Zach is the biggest pussy out there in all of this. He just sends Aaron into all these different places and goes, "You go do that. I'm going to sit over here in safety in the light while you do this." And what I found hilarious was when that doll started laughing, Zach could not have run quick enough and pushed Aaron in towards the doll. Whatever was there, the way he bailed out. But you see, like that, you can't really explain. It's like, okay.
I think that,
well, you can, but it's not.
You can,
but
a lot of Ben, but a lot of Ben, you're shaking your head there, Ben. A lot you just said, all right, fair enough. We know that what can be done with TV, but if that's the case, they're pretty good fucking actors, then, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
they should be up for awards because
100%.
Some of the fear is genuine.
Yeah,
when they shit themselves, they shit themselves. So,
like I say, I fully believe that they believe what they are doing is real.
If you put us four in a dark house that you've never been in before,
I'd shit myself at some of that stuff.
Imagination would run wild, and I'd be in tears in the corner, just like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I fully appreciate.
My fear would be real if a doll started randomly laughing at me in a weird shed on an island full of dolls that have been collected.
That's what I mean to you as a normal person. But what you're saying to me is it's in their control. So how are they shitting themselves so much? You're telling me it's fully in their control. They shouldn't really be scared of it, is what you're saying, because they know it's coming, or they're faking it and they're adding a laugh in later on. So, but by your accounts, they're either fucking top quality actors, or they shouldn't really
They're
be scared.
definitely not top quality actors.
Or they shouldn't really be scared, then, should they?
Well,
Because they know it's coming.
see,
but it is, isn't it? That's what, from what you said, that's how it works.
Thing is, we don't. This is just me playing devil's advocate now. I'm like, if we want to go down this wormhole of, whether it's set up or not, they don't have to be the ones that set it up. They could not know what is going to happen.
Yeah, true. They
could just be going into it blind. Producers or whatever could have set.
But my counter to that would be: you really think Zach Bagans going to let someone else control his show?
Oh no, of course not. But this isn't my biggest issue with Island of Dolls. My biggest issue, well, two. Number one, I can't remember the name of it, but the world's most haunted doll that they brought along, Harold.
Big Harold.
Big Hazard.
What problem you got with Harold? Choose your words carefully, mate. Because
he links into my biggest issue I have with it, and it's that right at the start, in voiceover, Zach says he has a very real phobia of dolls. You've got a phobia of spiders, Josh. Yeah. I've got a phobia of snakes. I know for a fact you can't even look at a picture of a spider.
Yeah, if it was called Island of the Spiders, I'd fucking wouldn't set foot again.
Exactly. That man does not have a phobia of dolls.
So that's something I've really thought about watching all these eps. So I've come to this having never seen a single thing about it ever. It's why is every episode cut like a horror movie?
Oh, the B-roll and the reenactments.
Yeah, and all the recon of people, of like demons and devils crawling out of cages, and like particularly in the Fear of Flagstaff episode, I think there was a warning on the YouTube video I watched that said there's depictions of dead bodies. Don't watch this if that's triggering.
It gets as the series have gone on, those little intercut things have gotten way more like gruesome and more high end, as it were.
I take it more seriously though. I take the investigation more seriously if it wasn't with Amdram actors and then all the glitchy like editing effects and stuff.
Some of them are under it. Some of them are just not needed.
Yeah, some of them are pointless. Like Peter's just a guy screaming in a bedroom somewhere.
Some of them are also shot as if or actually on the location, and some of them are like, if you're messing around with what you believe to be these spirits that are pissed off that you're even there, if you're then dressing up like what they're supposed to look like and waving around in front of a camera and filming this stuff, like, isn't that going to piss it off even more?
But they believe that's part of it. That's why they do some of the shit that they do. Like it's a trigger. It's seen as a trigger. They call it's like the residual energy. They want to, like they fire fake guns in one of the other ones I watched the other day. Like they pretend to reenact the assassination of one of the ghosts that's meant to haunt them. So it's supposed to trigger activity within the place that they're in.
Why is theirs so popular though in comparison to the rest? Because they're all very same.
It's his brand and his character, isn't it?
I think the gear as well, the gear that they use.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
So just explain to me and the audience what a spirit box is, because I didn't quite grasp that.
So a spirit box is, if you were to believe, is as a device that sweeps through white noise, and it allows a spirit to. It uses radio frequencies, and it allows a spirit, if there are spirits there, to pull words through that white noise to communicate with whoever's on the other end of the device by just picking certain words that maybe make sense, or whether they're just making a noise. Or
so that's that thing they're holding, and it's like loads of static, and then every so often a word pops out.
A word might pop through, yeah. So that's
a
spirit box.
When they hear these things, by the way, just to interject, sometimes on the spirit box or an EVP, sometimes the leaps they go in terms of trying to figure out what that noise is. He just said he wants to kill me.
Sometimes
he didn't say that.
That again is like, it's the confirmation bias thing. Like any noise that sounds half like what you want it to sound like, you're gonna make that leap.
Can hear it, but I can hear them say, they might say that it says one thing on the screen, and I will hear something different.
I think I know how you feel about it, Josh, but I don't know about the other two. When they start getting this equipment out, the spirit box and the EVPs and the electromagnetic stuff, is when it starts to, I don't know, cheapen it a bit for me, because these are things that I don't know whether they fully believe that these things do what they say they do, and they've just been duped into.
You don't believe that they work, full stop.
I personally don't believe that they work, and I believe that it is easy to make something generate a random word or program something beforehand to generate a word that can be linked to what you want it to be quite easily. For me, I personally believe that that is just a randomly generating word machine, and they're charging loads of money for it.
Yeah, but you're never going to buy one because you don't believe in paranormal anyway.
True.
You would never buy one regardless, because don't have to. The people that would be duped into paying for it because they think it might work believe in the paranormal. True. So that they're not being duped. Do you know what I mean? Like, no. Because they believe in it regardless. Like they wouldn't go out there and buy it if they didn't if they didn't want to investigate or believe in the paranormal. So I don't think anyone would get duped.
I was going to say, so coming at this as a complete newbie, I, like Ben, don't believe a word of it. But if you can convince a network to commission you to make 225 episodes of something, then there must be onto something, right? And I don't know what that is. Is that just really good storytelling? Is that really good, conspiracy theory nonsense? Who knows? But one thing I found with particularly the Island of Dolls and the Fear of Flagstaff is that you can go to anywhere in the world and there will be mythology or folklore or fairy tale about that village, town, city, statue, whatever it is. And I think that's something that's sort of quite prevalent in America, but particularly here in the UK as well, And what I think is quite clever is that these individual spots have created essentially a place to visit. It's like a place of tourism for people who are into this stuff and believe this stuff. Well, rightly or wrongly, who am I to judge if you do believe in such things? If you want to go and spend your money to visit these places, have at it. I mean, would I go and stay in that hotel? No, I wouldn't, because I want to go to sleep.
Here's an argument though that you can have, yeah. If you really don't believe, why wouldn't you stay there comfortably?
The reason why I wouldn't want to stay there, I don't like being made jump. I don't like being scared, so I wouldn't watch horror. I wouldn't maybe watch Ghost Adventures because I don't like the fear of being startled, right? So, and particularly when I'm trying to go to sleep as well. That's one thing I find really interesting about it, right? Is that they've clearly found a market and the set stories and all these different places, and all they're doing is going and telling you, look, in this hotel, lots of gruesome murders have happened. And if you're into it, go to the places that you think are haunted. If you're not, then go and sit on a beach and don't feel like you're going to shit yourself every 30 seconds because you're going to be scared.
Is there nothing that's ever happened to you that you've never gone, I want to explain that way, but I just can't? Has that never happened?
I think for myself personally, might have watched the Blair Witch Project living in the countryside and then completely freaked out that the Blair Witch is going to get me. And then been terrified and not slept for 2 weeks when I was 14 or however old I was. Probably shouldn't have admitted my age and how scared I was then.
I was 24.
I was 36.
39.
But I can't say personally that I've ever had an experience like that. No, not myself. That wasn't induced because of alcohol or something.
That's fair enough. That's what I mean. I think that's what's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like I should have fought harder for Chimp Empire, if I'm being brutally honest.
I mean, Ghost Adventures was always going to bring out this, wasn't it?
I can't just lay down with Chimp Empire.
Well, when you first said Chimp Empire, it was like, okay, yeah. Have you watched that a few times? Is that a big deal to you? It's literally, we said, oh, we're going to do a podcast about this. Oh, just watch Chimp Empire.
But the only reason I said, yeah, literally, I thought, you know what, I've just seen it, throw something different. It's not like, because one of the things on my list was Ghost Adventures. I'm not going to go in for something that three of us have already watched. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I did think that, like, but I thought there's always going to be something that when we pick it, at least, it's going to be rare that there'll be things, unless Tom's picking it, that all three of us won't have done. I suppose on that note, then the question is, did you rate that?
For me, mainly because I've seen it before and I watch it for light entertainment, not so much the actual spiritual side of things. For pure entertainment, having a bit of a laugh, I'll rate that.
Our first official thing that's been rated by someone.
I mean, I also rate it, but I think as well.
Well, you said it.
Everyone knew that. So. Just wanted to get it in there.
I'm torn because on one hand, right, I kind of agree with what Kai's just said about it being entertaining. And did I find myself watching an extra episode because I was entertained? I was entertained. But do I rate it, and would I go and tell other people to watch it?
You're damn right.
You're goddamn right. Oh man, no, I don't rate it. I don't rate it. Sorry, Josh.
I thought you were gonna be twisted. To be fair, I thought you were gonna head over to this side.
If anything, I'm on the fence. But if I had to pick at this moment in time,
after another 4 seasons, I reckon.
Can I ask you, Tom? After we've recorded, are you going to go and watch more episodes?
If it came up on my YouTube algorithm, which it now does heavily, and I had spare time, I probably would watch another episode. But would I pick it over something else? Maybe not.
I am firmly in the same camp as Kai. It is probably not for the same reasons as Josh, but I do thoroughly enjoy watching this show. I would pick it over some other things. If it's on, I will put it on and I'll watch it. I haven't sought out episodes. I haven't thought, oh God, I need to go and watch some Ghost Adventures. When Josh set this as the task, I was extremely happy, and I do really like this show purely because it's entertainment, and I don't find it funny to belittle anyone or to laugh at people. I just personally find them trying to portray this as evidence of something quite funny. So yes, I do rate it.
Oh, 3-1. Well, I've clearly got it wrong then. I need to go back and do more research.
You've got to go watch more, mate, I'm telling you. But you aren't going to have time. You aren't going to have time at the moment because it's your turn to set the homework.
So.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Let me get one note.
No, so we have watched quite a lot. And by quite a lot, I mean 6 episodes or something. So... So I was going to suggest that we maybe listen to something.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I ended up in a bit of a YouTube hole the other day, as you do, watching and listening to some of the worst mashups of songs I've ever heard in my entire life. And the further I went, the worse they got. But I'm not going to do that to you guys because that isn't fair. So I'm going to suggest some mashup projects that I really like and would recommend other people. So Josh has gone all out and given us Ghost Adventures because he really, really rates it. I'm going to go ahead and give you the mashup album of Jay-Z and Linkin Park, Collision Course, because that is genuinely one of my favorite things ever. So if you have any negative things to say about it, then there will be tears. Then I would presume most of you guys have heard that already.
Yes.
I've got other suggestions which are also Jay-Z related. So this is the theme.
Tom runs the Jay-Z fan club. by the way.
I wish I ran the Jay-Z. I wish I had time to run the Jay-Z fan club. So the other things I want you to listen to are Radiohead,
Yes.
which is a mashup of Radiohead and Jay-Z tracks,
fucking hate Radiohead, man.
and the Grey album, which is the Danger Mouse mix of Jay-Z's The Black Album and the Beatles' The White Album.
Radiohead, I've never heard of.
I've never heard of Radiohead.
I had heard of the Grey album.
Radiohead's the one I think I've heard the most of.
Yeah, because you like Radiohead.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I also do not like Radiohead. So,
So I'm not a big Radiohead fan either,
but you're a big Jay-Z fan.
But I'm a big Jay-Z fan. So
And when you're not a fucking Jay-Z fan or a Radiohead fan, it's gonna be fucking fantastic, isn't it?
Hey, it might be a happy medium for you.
you might suddenly click for you.
Maybe.
But that is the moment that everything changes for you.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, I suppose on that note,
There you go.
we'll see.
Happy listening.
I've got a long drive tomorrow.
Well, there you go. I've just given you the soundtrack. You're going to be bopping away. 99 problems, but the car journey ain't one.
And on that note.
Next time on the Rate That podcast.
I don't know if anyone else agrees or if you guys think I'm being stupid.
You're being stupid. It's amazing.
Cool.
You didn't need to do this album. It was just shite.
Podcast over. I don't want to hear your opinions on the rest.
If you're going to behave like that about this one, you can all fuck up.